So when you think about air pollution in India, what pops into your head? Probably some smoggy cityscapes, maybe a few specific headlines. But what if I told you the real problem is way bigger, much deeper, and a whole lot more constant than you might think? Let's get into the real story behind all that haze.
All right, to really get our heads around this crisis, we've got to clear the air a bit first. Let's bust some of the most common myths that are floating around.
First up, is this whole thing just a Delhi problem? Is the capital choking while the rest of the country is breathing easy?
And what about the timing? Is this a seasonal issue? Something that just shows up in the winter months and then disappears?
And maybe the biggest one of all, are we pointing fingers at the right sources? Is it really just about holiday firecrackers and farmers burning their fields?
Well, the answer to all of those questions is a big, resounding no. Not even close. The reality is, well, it's a lot worse. We are talking about a crisis that's affecting the entire nation, 365 days a year.
The scale of this is just staggering. Get this, out of the 100 most polluted cities on the entire planet, a shocking 94 of them are right here in India. So yeah, this isn't a Delhi problem, it's an India problem.
Okay, so what does it actually mean to live with this level of pollution day in and day out? The cost isn't just something you see in the hazy sky. It's being measured in our health, our lives, and our economy.
Let's try to put this in perspective, in terms we can all understand. On a really bad day, just living and breathing in Delhi is the health equivalent of smoking 15 to 20 cigarettes. And even if you're outside the capital, you're still passively smoking anywhere from 4 to 10 cigarettes worth of pollution every single day.
The human cost is just terrifying. Every single minute, 3 to 4 people in India die from illnesses that are directly linked to air pollution. Think about that. By the time this short explainer is over, dozens and dozens more people will have lost their lives. And it's not just our health. The economy is taking a massive hit too. We're talking $95 billion every single year. That's a whopping 3% of India's entire GDP, just gone, lost to things like lower productivity and huge healthcare bills.
And listen, we're not just talking about a cough or a cold here. The long-term effects are absolutely devastating. Doctors are reporting that newborns have lungs that look like they belong to a 40-year-old chain smoker. A child born in Delhi today can expect to live 8 to 10 years less simply because of the air they breathe from day one. We're seeing cancer and infertility rates spike, and diseases we used to associate with old age are now hitting people in their 20s and 40s. It's a silent epidemic.
So why? If it's this bad, why isn't it getting fixed? It's a fair question. Let's peel back the layers and really look at the anatomy of this crisis.
A huge part of the problem starts with how we even define what's safe. Take PM 2.5. These are the tiniest, most harmful particles. The World Health Organization says the safe level is 5, but in India, the official standard for a satisfactory day is 40. That's 8 times higher. It's like if the passing grade for an exam was 36%, but so many people were failing that the school just decided to make 15% the new passing mark. More people pass, sure, but is anyone actually smarter? No.
And yeah, stubble burning and firecrackers get all the media attention, right? But they're just 2 members of a much larger crew. We're dealing with a whole gang of 10 here. The real, year-round culprits include millions of old vehicles, tons of construction dust, unregulated factories, diesel generators humming everywhere, and the daily burning of thousands of tons of garbage.
And all of this has created this truly terrifying new reality, where clean air, something that should be a basic human right, has become a luxury item. If you have the money, you can buy air purifiers for your home, your car, your office. You can literally buy a bubble of clean air. But for the vast majority of people, what are they supposed to do? And when you get right down to it, the system is just stuck. It's stuck in this endless cycle of blame games, where every industry points fingers at another. Every solution becomes political. And we have all these excellent rules on paper, but on the ground, they're almost never enforced. It's not a lack of rules, it's a lack of will.
Okay, I know this all sounds incredibly bleak, but just when you feel like giving up hope, I want to show you a real-world story that proves this is not an impossible problem. Let's take a look at Beijing.
Just think about this for a second. Back in 2013, Beijing was literally being called a gas chamber. Its AQI shot past 750. So what did China do? They declared a national war on pollution. And today, just a decade later, their AQI is down to a healthy 29. I mean, what a transformation.
So how on earth did they pull that off? Well, it wasn't magic. It was decisive, system-wide action. They didn't just talk, they acted. They shut down thousands of polluting factories, they switched homes from burning coal to clean energy, they rolled out huge public transport networks, and planted millions upon millions of trees. They didn't just ban stubble burning, they created a system to actually buy the leftover crop material from farmers. And maybe most importantly, they enforced the rules with an iron fist.
Look, Beijing's story is so important because it shows us that real change isn't just a pipe dream. It can happen, and it can happen fast, when there is a collective will to make it happen. So what could that path to clean air look like for India?
It's got to be a three-pronged attack, really. First, it starts with you, with us, making choices like using public transport, not burning trash, and moving towards cleaner tech. Then it expands to your community. We need to create social pressure where polluting is seen as shameful, not normal. And finally, it has to reach your government. We have to demand the same kind of accountability and strict enforcement that turned Beijing around.
So here we are. We've laid it all out. We know how devastatingly bad the problem is. We see the hidden cost to our health, our economy, and our children's futures. And we've also seen a clear, actionable playbook for how to fix it. The knowledge isn't the issue. The only real question left is, do we have the will?